thinking that we're...
This probably takes sort of between half an hour, 45 minutes, or however long it is. When we do a podcast, we like to leave it natural. We'll leave it as a natural bit, but we won't be here for 2 hours or anything. Don't worry about that. Before we go into the show, I want to say thank you to our sponsors who are sponsoring us this month, and that's Gin Different. If you like your gin, or if you don't, if you want to try something different, make sure you check out their bar in the Market Hall. It's a great place. If you need that bottle of gin you can't quite get in Asda or Tesco or anywhere else, they'll get it for you. And you might see them popping up around festivals and things. They like to go around with their pop-up bars and stuff. So thank you to Gin Different. Check them out on Facebook, give them a follow. Quickly, shout outs for the last show. I want to say thank you to Paul Kirkbright from the university. He came in, talked to us about the Darwin Festival. That was really cool. I know the guy can talk, but it was a great interview. It was a really great interview. And also say, so well done to Dee Dee. Dee Dee's a new member of our team. She came in, she sat with us, and she did really well. And she's going to be a new member of our team. So well done, Dee Dee, and welcome to the team. Now, today I'm sat here with Claire from Peaks Elite Travel Elite. I always get the wrong way around. Elite Travel. Elite Travel.
It sounds very sexy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Let's find out a bit about you. Are you from Shrewsbury originally? Are you Shrewsbury born and bred?
I am. Shrewsbury's my hometown. Born and bred here, so been super lucky over the years to have some amazing travels.
Yeah.
It's always so lovely to come home here, though, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, we talk to locals, we talk to people that moved into town, people that move away and come back. This place just seems to have a magic spell. I love it. And
absolutely. We have, of course, a lot of the operators, tour operator-wise, that I deal with are based in London.
Yeah.
So generally, when I discuss where we're based, they've often, in fact, never heard of us.
Yeah.
So we always running joke in our office that actually Shrewsbury is the news centre of the universe. And actually, when people leave, they're like, wow, you're right, it's such a great place.
It just sucks you back in, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Draws something about the place. I don't know. I mean, I've only been here since 2017. And I don't know. Life hasn't been any better, honestly. I've loved it here. So, with Shrewsbury, what was I going to say? I was going to say something. It's just gone out of my head. Peaks Travel Elite. Okay, let's talk a bit about the history of this place because it's quite fascinating. I've had Ron Morgan on the show before.
Oh, have you? I've not heard that.
No,
Ron's a really great friend of mine, and actually, my such a brilliant ambassador. He was the first guy I worked for.
Yeah.
And we're still in touch.
He's such a nice guy.
Such a brilliant guy.
He's such a generous guy. I know he's not very well at the moment.
No.
So God bless you, Ron.
God bless Ron. Much love from us.
But he still chats to me and he still sends me things. And I didn't realise how early he was. And I was kind of like, come on the show. And he's like, I can't.
No, absolutely. And an accomplished author now as well.
Yeah, his book is fantastic as well. If anybody hasn't read it, make sure you pick up a copy of Don't Bring Me Flowers. It's really, really, really good.
Amazing.
It's really good. So how did you work? So you say you worked for Ron when it was Ron's...
I did, yeah. So my history is I went to Shrewsbury College, did what was called a BTEC back in those days, left college, did the day of my last exam actually, went to see Ron, and he took me on. That was a Friday, and I started on the Saturday.
Wow.
I know. So
how was that for you? Was that like being thrown in the deep end? Was it a busy day for you?
Totally thrown in at the deep end. But, fair play to Ron. I have much love and respect for him. He's the guy that gave me a chance.
Yeah. He knows his stuff as well.
He does. He's a smart guy.
He really is. I remember I live in Bellevue, and I pointed a building out, and he was like, what's that? And he's like, it's an old MOD building. And I was just like, straight up.
I know, but he used to do tours of the town and all sorts. He's multi-talented.
We had Stan Sedman on as well, and him and Ron are like, they go back, man.
Of course.
Yeah. So when you get thrust into that kind of environment, what's it like for a young person to be thrown into? It's quite demanding, I imagine. People demand their holidays, they want them right for you, and you've got to get it right, I guess.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, to start out now with no experience, well, just not any job, but particularly, generally people work 50 weeks a year, often for a 2-week holiday. So there's a lot of pressure around that.
There is. I mean, I've been there before. We went to Morocco a while ago, and we got to the place, and they gave us a really bad room. Oh, no. And they were doing it to everyone, mainly all the British customer. The French were getting really nice rooms and stuff, but it's Morocco for you.
I know, but honestly, sometimes that's to do with the tour operator that you're booking with, and that's down to us guys to steer you in the right direction. Sometimes, often, the cheapest option, you're going to get potentially a negative room within the category.
Yeah.
There are lots of operators that got great relationships with individual hotels. And because of that, you then get the best rooming category. So that's where we come in.
That's quite cool. And I guess over the years you've learned all the tricks and the best ways to get the best holidays for people. I mean,
yeah, well, I've done it for a long time, but we always say in the office, every day is a school day.
Yeah.
The world's changing, different hotels, different trends.
And I was going to ask you, I'll ask you about it now, like, how do you deal with like a worldwide panic? And I've read examples of worldwide panic, like giant volcanoes in Iceland, World Cups and Olympics and things and what have you, airline closures, tour operator closures, and natural disaster. How do you deal with things like that? Because it must be panic. It is
panic. And from a consumer perspective, huge amount of panic. Sadly, it's quite a well-trodden route now. These used to be things that maybe happen once, twice a year.
Yeah.
But if just go back to 2020, there was at least one disaster of varying levels each month.
Yeah.
So we have a crisis plan.
Okay.
Luckily, we work really closely with the tour operators that we do. So we take advice from ABTA, advice from ATO, which is an association we work really closely with. And we are then able to get the news to our customers much more quickly than they would otherwise. The news often, unfortunately, doesn't help because it's sensationalised and there's X, Y, and Z going on.
Panic.
Totally.
Yeah.
And sometimes, of course, sometimes it is true, but often it's not really a true reflection.
Yeah. How was the Thomas Cook thing for you guys? Was that a nightmare? Or was that really bad? Or did you deal with it That's typical. How did you deal with the Thomas Cook thing? Was it?
Massive challenge. And, an institution within travel. So it's kind of unprecedented times for all of us.
I felt so bad for all the workers, because we've travelled with Thomas Cook before. They've been great.
Yeah. And as a tour operator, we dealt with them. So, we are totally independent, family run, but actually sometimes Thomas Cook were the best option for our customers on certain occasions.
We'd booked with Thomas Cook as well. We had to get our money back. And
okay. Have you had that now?
Yeah, we've had it now. And we're going to, I think it's Gran Canaria next year. I can't remember the wife's deal with that. That's not really bad.
The boss.
But, and the same hotel that we were going to go to, we looked at it after Thomas Cook had folded, and it was like 45 grand a night or something because they'd had no. I was like, oh wow, that's how bad it is.
And just that ripple effect within the travel industry has been huge. There have been particularly tour operators that we deal with within our long haul travels that buy in Thomas Cook flights. So Thomas Cook isn't the tour operator to the consumer, but they're using the long haul flying program, and the kind of impact and the cost implications that's been pushed onto those tour operators. Amazing. The consumer protection worked. Everybody that had paid out money should have had that back by now, or there should be an ongoing situation because of it.
If you think about it, so they've got their own planes, so the airports are missing the rent, the airline rent, the hotels that rely on a lot of the customers from Thomas Cook, and that sex part of town was losing all that income from all the shoppers and things. So it's massive.
Yeah, massive. It is huge amount. And a lot of my team actually originated their career within Thomas Cook. We have a bit of a win for us. We have the lovely Tor now, who's part of our team, who's come from Thomas Cook. Of course, that's now Hayes, which is great. Those girls have a job, but at one point, nobody really. Yeah, it was really rocky for them all.
Especially coming up to with Christmas and whatever. It must have been terrible.
Yeah, shocking timing.
Yeah. So talking about sort of taking over a business and things. Peaks came in and sort of bought Ron Morgan Travel.
They did. Yeah. So right back at the beginning of the Peaks journey, Frances Peake set up Peaks Travel Market, I think she called it back in those days, from her kitchen table at home at Marsh Hall, kind of wellies and all. And in those days, you had to trade for a certain amount of time before you could get an ABTA licence. She first, which is quite a tricky proposal nowadays, because, as a consumer, we all want to be completely bonded and insured. Yeah. She got her ABTA licence in 1992.
Yeah.
So nearly 30 years ago now.
Wow.
I know. From there, she moved into, you certainly won't remember this, but in the bottom of the Charles Darwin Centre, there was a tiny shop, not much bigger than a cupboard, really. So Frances was based there as her first,
It's like a desk sort of thing you do.
Yeah, I think there were 2 desks, probably, but that was it. So she spent a few years there, moved up into the middle level of the Darwin Centre, kind of prestigious new premises. And then in 2001, Ron already wasn't very well. Yeah. Sold the business to Francis and Russell Peake. And within Ron Morgan Travel, which is where I was still at the time, we were luxury long-haul travel. They bought the business in May, and then September the 11th happened just a few months later. So, of course, people weren't travelling long-haul. People were nervous to kind of shell out the cost of a luxury holiday. Yeah. And so a tricky few years, really. Francis and Russell, we all battened down the hatches. We moved to 11 Model, our premises at the moment, but we were branded still Ron Morgan Travel. And that was... I guess that was my baby until my human babies arrived. So had Josh and Hull, and then as we, I think 2008, the Peaks Travel Market crew combined with my Ron Morgan Travel crew, and Peaks Travel Elite was born.
So you guys got sort of two-peed over to just merge together as part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how was that at first? Was it awkward for you guys, or did you just merge, you get on with each other straight away?
We actually treat it, and we still do, as two separate departments. So upstairs is long haul, and of course sometimes luxury, sometimes not, depending on what the customer need is. And then downstairs we have kind of all sorts of general travel sales. Of course we've lots of cruises that we do now, but it's tricky, isn't it? Change within a business, change within life isn't always easy.
No.
But that was the time when I was, I think Holly had just been born in 2008 as we all merged together. So it had to be the right decision. Of course, I wasn't around for a little while.
It makes sort of sense, though. I mean, if you got, like you said, the long haul luxury thing, and then your general sales coming together, bam, there you go. You've got it's like a marriage made in heaven, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I know. And for a few years, of course, my wings were clipped. Exotic travels weren't necessarily top of my agenda. But, if we fast forward to now, we have a team of 14. We have a concierge team, so those guys look after all sorts of seat reservations and all the extra bits that we need around our travels. We have the long-haul team, short-haul team, and crews within that. So
With the luxury travel, I imagine it can be quite difficult because, I mean, you get a lot of, I don't know, say a bridezilla who wants the perfect honeymoon, and it goes wrong. Say, I mean, I know you go to college, you do travel and tourism to do this, but say I was a new starter, and I had some lady banging a fist on the table, I want this, and you didn't give me this. And how would you kind of coach someone through that, to deal with that? Because I imagine it must be really intense.
It's really intense, isn't it? Somebody shouting in your face in any environment is pretty horrendous.
Especially when they spent thousands of pounds sometimes on a certain thing.
Totally. And, the reality is now I'm managing director of the business, and still doesn't mean that I enjoy any kind of that confrontation. But, you just have to put your big girl pants on and deal with...
Suck it up.
Yeah, suck it up and try and put your best foot forward and think about actually... The biggest message I would always give to my team is just reverse this for a second. If you are... let's hope not bridezilla, but you are this customer that has an issue. How would you want to be dealt with? Yeah. And that maybe is a bit of a life lesson as well, isn't it? I guess.
I mean, I've always been lucky enough to kind of avoid those bad experiences with customers and things. But I'd find I'd struggle. I'd have to...
I know, absolutely. And, you just can't match that, can you? You certainly can't raise your voice back or anything like that. It's about making sure that we can't ever control someone else's behaviour, but we can be responsible for our own.
Where are your guys' most sort of popular destinations? Where at the moment, like where is drawing people?
So within the team, everybody has their kind of a few specialist areas. Yeah. So that specialist knowledge, we've got something bonkers, like 230 years experience between us all. Yeah. So
that's cool.
I know, it's really cool. So we would always try and steer our customers towards the right person. That said, of course, there are customers that particularly like to deal with one member of the team. So then we'll just pull in the expertise of somebody that maybe has that particular experience. But trends-wise, I try to stay on top of this quite a lot. ABTA have just released their travel trends report. Lots of quirky places. Of course, this was pre the military issues of this past week. But there were places within that, like Uzbekistan,
Yeah.
It's really up and coming, actually, and that started last year. But still, Iceland's super popular, Croatia.
Yeah, my mum's been to Iceland twice. I was like, the first time she ever went abroad, she was like, I'm going to Iceland. And I was like...
First time she ever went abroad?
Yeah, and I was like, wow. Cool.
This is pretty cool, actually, isn't it?
I mean, she enjoyed it. She loves it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. We're also really heavily involved in Business to Canada. We're Canadian specialists, and we were lots of awards. It is just amazing.
My best friend is on the Canadian border. He's in Vermont.
Okay.
So he said he could literally throw something out of his doorstep and it'd land over the border. You know?
Yeah, one foot in America, one foot in Canada.
Yeah. I imagine that'd be difficult, but I imagine just being like, oh, America, Canada, Canada. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Have you ever been?
No, I haven't. No, and me and him have been friends for a couple of years, and the plan is at some point to go and get over there. But I've got so many friends in America; I'd have to do like a full tour.
Yeah, that's the same responsibility of this friendship,
Yeah, I know someone from Peaks, and it's Sally. Well, we've got like a mutual friend. Shout out to Sarah and Barry. Yeah, how's it going? But yeah, I know Sally. So you guys got different departments, different specialties. Specialities. I can't talk today. I was podcasting all day yesterday. I kind of run out of words to say. And so, like, what if someone's like off sick and that's their area? I guess you guys have got a broad understanding of things.
Yeah, there's lots of kind of overreach, and the team really works super closely together. Sally is actually on maternity leave at the moment. Yeah. So baby Marla's keeping her busy, but Sally's still involved. I've been talking to her this morning, actually. Yeah. So I see Sally 2-3 times a week still, so that's good.
So how are things going for you guys at the moment? Is there anything like coming up for you guys that you want to tell people about?
Well, there's always stuff going on with us.
Well, I was just looking at your website, and I love the fact that, by the way, I've written this down here, that you guys kind of keep everybody up to date with kind of where you guys have been on holiday, just to show people there's a human element.
Well, I mean, we love it. You're never going to work in travel to be the richest person in the world. You have to have that passion, and that's... I'm so proud of our team, because that's exactly what everybody kind of embodies, really. So, I
guess you guys must understand more than anyone that you need a break. You kind of hit that point where you need to get out there. And
I think if you go back, I don't know, maybe let's say 10 years ago, and people were deciding, okay, what will I do this year? Will we buy a new car, or will we have holiday, or whereas these days, the holiday is actually built into the annual spend. It's kind of, for those lucky enough anyway, it's kind of become a necessity. Yeah. It's built into the norm. And there are lots and lots of our customers do 3-4 holidays a year sometimes.
It's, for me, I can tell. I mean, I know you wrote a thing there, the 8 signs of when you know you need a holiday. I really enjoyed that. I've just been having a good read of your website now. It's really cool. And for me, it's when life gets a bit stagnant. Even the happiest things around you just kind of feel a bit stale. You kind of just in that, and that's when you kind of like, I need a break.
It needs something to look forward to. It hasn't got to be a great big exotic trip, has it?
No, it doesn't. I mean, I remember me and my wife met because we worked at Asda together. Okay, and we used to go on the Christmas sort of parties and things at the Holiday Inn in Telford where we lived, and we'd stay there overnight, and it was one of the best nights ever. We'd be like, we're not home, we're in a hotel.
Isn't it crazy? And there were some such beautiful, like we said earlier, Shropshire is such a beautiful place. You don't have to go far to kind of feel that you're totally away from it all. So this is our, as ever, busiest time of the year. So Jan and Feb, we've just booked a little, and we do it quite often, just our family and our little dog go off to a log cabin with a hot tub, just kind of regroup over a weekend.
That's cool.
It's fab. And you know what? It doesn't have to be crazy expensive. It's just something to say. In my case, actually, you're probably not going to see a lot of mum now for these next few weeks, but we've got this book, so this is what we're focusing on.
So this is the time when people are like, I'm fed up with the cold weather, I'm going to go somewhere hot. For you guys, it just gets crazy.
Not even necessarily somewhere hot. It's just, this is the time of year. Of course, we're probably all, whether we're doing veganuary or whether we are
doing the keto diet.
Oh, are you? Well done to you. Dry January, whatever it is. We're generally probably carrying a few more pounds than we would want to, and we haven't got a lot of money. So it's that point of, God, it's, the nights are long, the days are short. There's not I quite like January, but there's not always a lot of fun to be found in January. So to give people want that thing to look forward to. There's a really great incentive to book often in January because of tour operator would bring out exclusive offers that would only be valid just for January.
Yeah.
So
please buy holiday. We need to keep the lights on. Please buy. Yeah,
I know. Yeah, absolutely.
Quite controversially, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but what are your thoughts on how the prices rise during the school holidays and things? Because I know there's a lot of people that aren't really a big fan of that. That's what a lot of kids
I'm a parent. I'm with you.
Yeah. They take their kids out, during term times and have to pay the fine and things like that.
Yeah.
Do you think that's sort of fair? Is there a way around it eventually, or what is your thoughts on it?
I genuinely don't think there probably ever will be a way around it. So, of my 24-year career, it's never improved. And honestly, it's a supply-demand thing.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
There are only X amount of hotel beds. There are only X amount of airline seats.
I guess if it was achievable for everybody, it would just fill up.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look within the UK, within a holiday park within the UK, if you compare their June price to their July price, that's as in school holiday July price, it's a huge difference. You can't get a caravan at the seaside for maybe less than 800 quid or something like that.
We love our sun holidays, we do.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But those offers tend, whenever there's an offer, it won't be within the school holidays because if you stop and put yourself in the shoes of that business, they can sell it. Yeah. Actually, if they couldn't sell it at that price, then they would have to reduce it. But they don't need to.
I mean, when you go on those sun holidays, the park's kind of running at kind of a half capacity anyway, isn't it? It's like not really bothered. It's kind of like, we'll put this on, we'll put that on. Whereas in the summer, it's like,
I know. Different experience altogether, isn't it?
Have you got any like sort of highlight of things that have happened, things that you remember, like over your years? Is there a couple of things that experiences that have happened to you guys, something you've done for someone or something that's happened with a customer that you kind of remember? That comes to mind?
All of the time, actually, and generally it tends to come from bad news, if I'm honest. So things like the first volcano eruption and with the ash cloud, bringing people home, checking in with people, making sure that they're safe and doing what we do, but sometimes there's not a call for our whole level of service isn't necessarily, when it runs well. Yeah. That's all good. Our customers don't need to know all of the extra bits we're doing behind the scenes. When it goes wrong, that's the point when actually they can realise that we are there, that we've got their back, that they are going to get the very best possible resolution.
And that comes with your reputation that's been built up over years, I guess. I mean,
we take that really seriously.
Yeah. Yeah, and do you know what? Before, I'm speaking to you guys because of Beth and the guys at Shropshire Festivals.
Shropshire Festivals, Think Tank. I mean, how many businesses those guys got?
They're amazing. I love them so much. But before I got talking to them, everybody was like, you need to speak to Peaks. You need to speak.
Really?
Loads of people, at least 4 people. I say loads of people.
Loads of people, 4. Oh, that's great. We'll take that.
But, generally people really like you guys. You got a really good reputation. I mean, I guess that took many years to kind of build up, with
it has. Yeah, definitely. And Francis wasn't born in Shropshire.
No.
Her husband, Russell, was. And it kind of feels like unless you've been in Shropshire for 10 years or 20 years, then it doesn't really count. But yeah, we work really hard to make sure that our customers, without our customers, there's no room for any kind of arrogance within our world.
No.
I don't feel anyway. Whether somebody is having the most amazing luxury holiday and it's £50,000 or somebody is spending £500, I feel that regardless, that those same values, our whole company ethos should apply.
Yeah,
that's what
really
we work really hard at for the whole team. The whole team live and breathe that as well.
Yeah.
So
that's where the awards come in. Okay, because I read about your awards. Let's talk about them. What awards have you won? Because I know they're really special to you guys.
They are massively special to us. So I guess about 5 years ago, as I started to become much more involved in the business, Holly was at junior school, so I was able to had a bit more time. We started to increase our sales, so to become probably a bit more noticed by tour operators. And as I was aware of the things going on in Shropshire, I think really our ethos is that we are a community business. We are here for our community, and then, that's reciprocated by our community.
And people feel that.
Good, I hope so.
No, I mean, like with everything that goes, if you've got a good community spirit in this town, people can sniff that out and they can feel it and they appreciate it so much. I've seen that so many times. All the interviews I've done, it's really important. Yeah.
It is massively important. So we'd won a few small awards, and then 4 years ago, the TTG, travel paper, Travel Trade Gazette, its full title, released a different kind of award ceremony. There's loads of awards within travel. Sometimes, if I'm honest, they're just really about who does a lot of business with a particular operator. Yeah. And, that's actually just about revenue. Sometimes
it's a promotional thing.
Yeah, it is really. And that, the travel industry, there were just masses and masses of awards. So the TTG decided they want to do something totally different. They introduced something called Top 50. So it was going to be the top 50 travel companies within the UK and Ireland. And within that, you had to put your name into a hat, so you applied, but there was no application process beyond registering.
Yeah.
And then they would you then beyond that had to be voted by tour operators, and then you became shortlisted. Once you were shortlisted, the judges came out to our offices and they judged everything really from our customer journey to our accounts to make sure that we were stable, to our staff, to our ethos, to our marketing activity.
How good the coffee tastes.
Yeah, literally everything. Interviewed members of our team, interviewed some customers. Really rigorous. So year one, and the very first year they'd ever done it, we were totally overwhelmed to have won Best Travel Agency in the central region of the UK.
Wow.
I know, big news.
That's amazing.
Yeah, fab. So that was year one. Year two, we were invited. We hadn't actually put in for it. We thought, I've won it once, Will. That, maybe that's enough for us here in Little Shropshire. That'll do us. We're happy. But the editor said, Peaks Travel, we haven't seen your entry and people are asking for you. Oh, okay. So in we go again. And not expecting to win, but we won it. So that was just amazing.
Wow.
I know. Year three, we put in, and then actually couldn't eat our dinner on the evening. So it's a really glitzy, glamorous event. I couldn't eat my dinner because it was what if we don't win? What will that do to my team? Kind of turns into this awful...
we're used to winning now. We need to...
No, it's like a horrible demotivational thing then, isn't it?
Yeah.
So then last year, we'd actually decided we weren't going to do it. Again, the editor gets in touch. I think I was out of the country, and the team got in touch with me to say, Pippa Jacks, the editor's been in touch and saying, come on, we need you guys in it. I said, oh gosh, I don't know. You guys take a vote. I'll go democracy. I'll go with whatever you guys say. So the vote was to go in. In we went. We were shortlisted. Jen, the assistant editor, came out and interviewed us, and fully expecting, honestly, not to win. Because actually, what's this going to do to the rest of the people? Of course,
not for you. Not for you.
Yeah, it's just not going to work, is it? So we won Central England. We were like, wow, this is amazing. But then, 15 minutes later, we were back on stage collecting the top award for all of the UK and Ireland.
That must feel amazing.
Amazing and emotional, and there were some really funny pictures of Frances and I kind of jumping around on the stage and not being very ladylike at all, but definitely embracing the moment. And it just shows how much it means to us. It's massive.
I mean, you've been doing this for a while. Beg my pardon. You've been doing this for a while, but I mean, that must mean so much to have been doing it for so long to finally get something for it.
Totally, that recognition.
Especially when you're driving the team,
Yeah, massively. And just to bring that back to the team, because it's all about the team. It's not my award. It's not Frances' award. It's the work of the team that's made that happen. Yeah. And we all work together. Ultimately, of course, I have to make a decision, but it's a team effort, 100%.
Well, congratulations to everybody at Peaks for doing that. If you're listening to this, which you probably might, well done. And it means something to the town that you've gone and done that. We've got Peaks Travel.
I know, and that's the really lovely thing. Customers say, so this award, So it's the best in Shropshire? No, it's best in the UK. So not just the West Midlands. No, all of the UK. But that doesn't include London. No, it does. It's actually everywhere. It's a massive deal.
Has it had an effect then? Since you started winning these awards, have people started coming in like, oh, we've heard you...
Yeah, I hope so. We've definitely grown. We only want to grow in small levels. We want to keep it... No, absolutely. It's not ever going to be... We don't want lots of branches. We will only ever have one branch. Yeah. What we do now is really, I just hope that we can. But there's always ways to improve it. We can sharpen it up and try and always give the very best to our customers.
What about the competition online? Because I mean, I'm really sorry, but we book a lot online.
Okay.
I mean, it's a lot easier.
I apologise for that.
How do you guys deal with that? Can you book online with Peaks as well, or can?
No, quite honestly, there are lots of people. Technology providers that come to us to say we need to make your website bookable. If I'm really honest, it kind of contradicts everything that we stand for.
And I feel that. I mean, when I think about travel agents, I just remember like the last time I went to a travel agents being absolutely freaked out about how fast this girl could type. First of all, that's a crazy travel agent with a type, and it is the customer agent experience is quite special. It's quite nice, especially when they find that moment when they find something for you, and you're like, yeah, and it's booked.
I know, and that's it really. There is, of course, there are still people that think of the travel agent of. I can't think. It's David Walliams' sketch. The computer says no. Absolutely. And there is no room for a rubbish travel agent these days. If you were rubbish, you wouldn't exist because you wouldn't have customers coming to you because there is such an online presence. Yeah. If you don't want personal advice and you're quite confident, you can do it online. Sometimes we can offer the same value as online. Sometimes we can't. It all depends on the time of year, on where it's going, on various different intricacies.
Yeah.
If I'm really honest, we can't be the best and the cheapest.
No.
So we have to decide where are we going to go with this? If we're going to continue to invest in our team with the training and make sure we're working with quality operators, we probably then can't be the cheapest.
I think people probably understand that though. I mean, you know, if you, I mean, I always say to my wife, I was like, don't buy the store brand, get the next one up.
Next one up. Yeah. It's the same with the wine list, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a great analogy actually. So yeah, I mean, you guys are awesome. I was going to say something, and I can't. My mind is just it's everywhere today. What's the summer looking like for you guys? And what's like everyone talking about the summer? Where's like the most booked destination?
Well, our focus for this year is we always do lots of cruising as well as the rest of our holidays, so that will be a focus. But we're also investing in the team with lots of what we call touring and adventure. Experience. Yeah. So that is one of the fastest growing markets, particularly within Shropshire because of our demographic, I suppose. Yeah. Not everybody now wants to just fly and flop, as we call it. It doesn't sound, it's not how everybody wants to think about their holiday, but that's what we would term it in the team. So touring and adventure market is something that we're really focusing on. It doesn't have to be jumping off a building, doesn't have to be trekking up a mountain. Adventure or touring kind of combined.
Hiking up Runyon Canyon or something.
It doesn't even have to be that. You know, the touring and adventure market suits absolutely everybody. There are family adventures where you can go to Sri Lanka, you can stay in a mud hut for a night, you can then go to a beautiful hotel with a massive swimming pool and the kids can go nuts. Nice. Then you can finish with a dhow cruise in the Indian Ocean. Of course, there's the traditional coach touring holiday, which does still have a market. There are people that have maybe travelled a lot for work, driven. They don't want any of that responsibility. They literally want to be collected from home, swish through an airport, off they go and have their adventure and be looked after every step of the way.
Everybody loves a good adventure, I feel, anyway. Yeah. I mean, like, we missed out on this amazing trip opportunity. My wife is from Colombia, so we go to Colombia back into, and the one year we were going to go to this place. It's a real nice hotel, but then you cycle for a few days and you go over the Brazilian border and then you go into a bit of the Amazon rainforest, and then you come back, and then you go.
Amazing.
It was like a real nice sort of 4-day excursion.
Yeah.
We never went, and I'm always kicking myself. So maybe one day.
One day. But adventures. It's like luxury. It's in the eye of the beholder. So actually, what does luxury mean to you? What does adventure mean to you? Every possibility, it means something totally different to me, to the next person, and to the next person.
I've got so much energy. Sometimes if we go on like a beach holiday somewhere, I'll just be like, sat there like,
it's got to be something else.
I can't just sit by a pool for like 7 days,
No, absolutely.
We like to go on a boat ride, or we like to go this, that.
Yeah, exactly. We all need a couple of days just to kind of catch up, but then I think we're generally ready to move on, aren't we? But there are food adventures. There's all sorts of brilliant
food adventures.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. I mean,
we're putting together a tour actually for this year around Vietnam with a food focus. So we'll tell everybody more about that.
I can imagine what that looks like. Actually, I've seen the pictures.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. So later this month, the other stuff we've got coming up, we have got an Australasia event within our office. It's the 1st of February. We are promoting Latin America on the 29th of February, and lots more to come.
How's the disaster in Australia affecting you guys at the moment?
Well, we have some people there actually that we're staying in touch with. We've had to reroute some people and change plans. It's just, I kind of don't know probably any other industry that every event in the world probably impacts on as travel.
I bet you see someone on the news in the morning while you're getting ready for work or something, you're like, the work's going to be a nightmare.
No, it's like, all right, come on quick, let's get straight to work.
What's the most bizarre place or the most bizarre things you guys do then? 'Cause, I mean, there's all sorts you can do. When you think about travel and tourism, things like the dark tourism thing is just going up. People doing crazy things like going to like Chernobyl, things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, have you guys experienced anything like that? I mean, I know you do luxury.
Yeah, we do. I mean, but it's not just luxury that we do. We do whatever our customers want us to do.
Yeah.
So we're not precious about that in any way. So yes, there's a real increase in kind of Chernobyl. And you can either do that as a kind of city break or as a full tour. But even things like Krakow, that there's always, that add on to that. And I think it's kind of a bigger responsibility and a bigger conversation rather, and responsibility probably on our behalf to have, this isn't a glitzy day out to Auschwitz. We need to maybe.
I do want to go to Auschwitz, but that's because I made friends with Simon Bell, who's a local author, and he's saying you need to go, you need to experience it, just to feel how sad it is, because we do lots of talks about that, which is good. But yeah, I can imagine why people
fortunate. Would. Absolutely. If you can take it in the way that it's intended, really. Is
there any shout outs you want to give on this episode to sort of say thank you to people that you work with or work for?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, massive shout out to all of our customers and everybody that supported us to enable us to become award winning. Yeah. To Beth and the Crazy Festival team for persuading us to become part of that.
Yeah,
it's really brilliant people. To bring us out into the community, that we get to see some new faces.
Yeah.
Most importantly, probably my team.
Yeah. It sounds like they work incredibly hard.
They do, work really hard.
They're doing what they do. I mean, they all look very smiley, they all look really happy, and they're award-winning as well. So look, listen, guys, I mean, if you've never booked with Peaks Travel Elite, they are on Mardle. You can see them. They're just up from Lakeland, isn't it? Just down from Lakeland.
Just down from Lakeland, yeah. That's it.
Make sure you give them a check, because like Claire says, they're not the cheapest, but that's because you get a great experience with them, and you get what you pay for. So make sure you pop in and have a look, and you can get a great experience, find somewhere to go. Is there anything else you want to add on this before we close up? If there's anything else you want to...
Only that we would always welcome someone to give us a try. So you said there we might not be the cheapest, but we might.
I think it's a good thing. I think it's a really good thing,
Tour operators that we work with, we've got brilliant relationships with. So we work really closely with something called ATO, Association of Independent Travel Organisers. Yeah. Tour operators have to work really hard just to become part of that kind of exclusive group. Okay. So it is... So, of course, the bonding thing that we've not really talked about, but as far as making sure that our customers are totally looked after to the very best possibility, you're not just a booking reference number, you're out.
Yeah.
And isn't that what we all want? So
absolutely.
And that reflects our ethos. So it kind of makes our life a bit easier, quite honestly. but it also, ultimately, the big thing is about making sure it's the very best prospect for our customer.
Well, there's a certain quality, isn't there? You got to be part of that. So that's
yeah, it is. It's like a really specialist badge. So we're part of ATO and the tour operators that we work with. We can work with anybody. We actually have something crazy like 600 tour operators that we can work with.
Yeah.
We don't want to work with all of them, of course we don't, because they're not always the right thing. But if they are, then we're always open to
it's quality,
new
not
ideas.
Quantity. Absolutely.
Totally.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sitting with me. This has been really nice.
Nice to chat to you.
I know. I mean, we like to talk to successful, independent, people. Like the story of Ron Moore of Peaks, started off in the house. That inspires me a lot. I mean, this started off from my wife's kitchen table, my wife's kitchen table. So there's always
from acorns, though, hey.
now we're here. So thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, it's been great. Guys, make sure you give this episode a like and a share, and make sure you check out our sponsors that are Gin Different. Give them a check on Facebook, and if you want to check out us on our website, you can find us at the Shrewsbury Biscuit podcast.co.uk. You can listen to our audio directly off the website. You don't have to download an app. You can play the audio, close your phone, get on with your day. It's really quite cool, that website. And thank you very much, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you very much.
Peace out.